class, okay, our class on our class regarding basics of multimedia and web technology, CFT 1063, basic of multimedia and web technology. So we continue for today use this technology. I mean the model yang kita gunakan, okay, untuk kita bangunkan sesuatu web technology. Okay. So learning outcome. So for at the end of the lesson, you should be able to explain the importance of multimedia and web development model. Okay, and to state the key stages of multimedia and web development model, and give example of generic multimedia and web development model. And we need to apply this knowledge and methods that we're going to learn from this class for your future development, especially to deliver the development. And mungkin untuk minggu ni kita fokus kepada learning outcome kita, okay, berupaya untuk mengenal pasti ataupun the web, dan gunakan dalam proses-proses pembangunan web yang bakal dilaksanakan oleh para pelajar kita nanti, okay, insyaAllah. Okay, so when we talk model, it's not like the model, this is model, but the spirit will be the same. The model, something that we can see, something we can refer, something that we can use as example. So some at the same thing, the model in different perspective, something that you can show something, the process and the guideline for us to apply to execute the problem. Okay, to execute the web development. So in our context, okay, the development for our web development, they have to follow one model. So the model that we use is like example for us to develop the web, especially for web development. Dan mungkin kita tengok juga model kita, okay, apakah model ni. So ini model dalam konteks biasalah, bila kita melihat dari aspek model, kita tergambar dalam minda kita model seperti dalam slide yang saya tunjukkan ni. Tapi bukan bermaksud kita refer kepada this type of model, but model yang kita gunakan untuk pembangunan web ataupun proses dan juga kaedah yang dilaksanakan, termasuk teknik yang digunakan dalam melaksanakan suatu projek, terutamanya projek pembangunan web. Okay, so for this week, we're going to focus more on the multimedia development model. Okay, what is a model? In our context, we need to focus multimedia development model is something you can visualize the stages and the step. Okay, the step of the development, and dapat diselia ataupun dikendali dengan tepat atau pasti, to follow several stages or step when you start developing your website or your system. Okay, developer team can deliver the project, and when the date of the expectation the client. Okay, so the first thing first, okay, important to define the team, alright, the multimedia web development team. That means the team, okay, kumpulan ataupun kumpulan, okay, the team for the project. So kita perlukan satu team yang kuat dalam projek kita untuk kita kata membantu kita dalam melaksanakan projek. Jadi kita kena pasti, okay, and another also important individual media elements in the multimedia product, and they also be media specialist on graphic specialist. Okay, so mostly the graphic specialists, they have skill of element of design and current technology. They have both the design perspective and also the technology perspective. And a sound specialist, normally when we develop web involved with the sound, normally they will compose and produce the sound element. Maybe in one website they need to use a certain sound, will be very unique for that web. And media specialists also, sometimes we need to hire the animation artist, so that when we need some animation for our web, okay, we need to have one artist that can produce the animation, okay, and also the animated features. And currently, in nowadays, okay, a lot of website, they were using the videography. Maybe some of the corporate video and so on. We need also the video special programmer. We need also a programmer, because in website they also involve computer coding and programming. for integration, especially for integration, and maybe for those we want to have embedded, okay, application in our website. And last but not least, we also need an acquisition specialist, because this maybe to focus on for some of the reference for the proposal. Okay, and then stage 2, we start design. Okay, when you have your proposal have been accepted for the development, okay, then we start designing. Okay, designing what type of the design that you want to apply for your web development. Okay, maybe we start with the media creation. So what is the type of the design, okay, that involved in the development, and we start thinking about this user interface. Okay, user interface. And during the design stage, sometimes we can go up to this prototype production. That means we need to in some cases in common development process, and because of the advancement of the technology, they have a lot of tools that help us to develop. During design, we can still produce the prototype production, so that from this prototype production, we can do series of cycle to improve the design. And perhaps once the design will be accepted, then we can start with the evaluation stages. So we need to evaluate our prototype. There are two types of evaluation. Okay, stage 3, formative evaluation and summative evaluation. So formative evaluation, we need to see the progress and the development. And the summative evaluation, sometimes we need to do continuously the evaluation, so that we can start improvise every cycle of evaluation. Then after several evaluation, then most of the client will be satisfied with this result, the improvement of the web. Now we can start production. Normally we start with the alpha version, to test to the client, and start to test on beta version, and for the full production for the testing. So this is the common key process in the all development model. So this is a generic model normally in any development in digital design, and also on software as well. Okay, as I explained in generic, okay, in definition stage, you need to understand the goal. Okay, what are the project purposes? Okay, what the purposes of the website? Okay, the purpose. Okay, the purpose of the website, normally we focus on the based on industrial driven, okay, project. So when you develop for specific business, of course the purpose are different. Okay, so you need to identify the purpose of the project. Okay, in what industry, okay, to cater what problem. That's why we need to define carefully the goal of the project. Okay, the second one, we need to see the target. Who are the project audience? I mean, when you start developing the web, okay, the system, okay, who are the target user? Who are going to use that one? Which group of people that will be interested with the web develop? I mean, the web that you want to develop. And then the third, okay, process, you need is a need. Need, that means you need to understand, okay, the advantages, competition, okay, media element and interactivity, and how you can deliver within the budget, okay, and how you're going to adapt the model, the suitable model for this development. Okay, and then you can start writing your proposal. So you need to go through this four process during definition of the project. Okay, when you start documentation, of course we need to develop the proposal. Okay, proposal, storyboard. Okay, storyboard, that means will be generic, not only for web development. Okay, storyboard normally for video creation, okay, for maybe the animation, or maybe some of the other media project. And normally for web, we need to see more on functional specification. Okay, so the proposal will be include with this component, proposal, functional specification, normally for web and for software development. Okay, because we need to see the function. I mean the function for each project. I mean for each website that we develop, we need to see what are the specific function, so that we can develop this function within the website. Okay, because some function maybe you can use the website to submit data, okay, to do order and something. So this is called a functional specification. Okay, so we go one by one. Okay, stage 1 definition. Okay, normally when we start a preliminary study, that means preliminary proposal is something like the short description of the proposed application. That means a very brief proposal. Okay, so for the client to understand. Okay, normally in this type of proposal, this preliminary proposal, you need to include the goal. What are the target of this website? What the achievement, I mean the goal of this project. And you need to see the audience, who are the target user of the website. And also the outcome. What are the things that you need to achieve and the impact of this website. Maybe to improve the customer service, or maybe you want to polish the branding of the company. So you need to see what is the outcome when you start develop the project. Okay, develop the web, okay, for your client. And of course, during this preliminary proposal, what are the things that you need to include in this proposal? Okay, you need to see to include also the type and the users of interactivity. How interactive that you want to offer within this project. I mean, when you start develop, okay, this web proposal, web development proposal, what are the unique selling point, okay, in terms of interactivity? Because as we know, nowadays, most of the website you see in the internet and most of the application that you develop, they more emphasize on the interactivity. How easy the user can use this application or this website to interact with the system, and of course to do the process of the development or process of the interact with the system. Of course, you need to have a flowchart, and the most important thing also is the cost estimation, because when you deliver the proposal, the client need to know the cost of project, whether they want to develop or to produce this or not. Okay, and another thing also very important is about the storyboard and mock-up, because when you start the preliminary proposal, okay, normally we not provide the sketches, I mean the user interface, because this one come to the second definition to describe about the look and feel. Okay, look and feel, storyboard or mock-up. So sketches, maybe a normal screen, a rough drawing, maybe you can use PowerPoint as a storyboard. So to I mean the look and feel, okay, normally we can use this storyboard to make the client and team member to understand about the project. Because when you start development in I mean not in small team, maybe the bigger team, you need to emphasize on understanding about the project. What are the role for each member, team member, and what are the expectation for them to deliver, and the role of them for specific tasks in the development. Okay, not only define the text, okay, design the interaction, design the interface, and also maybe in some cases if involve database design, so the special individual need to be take responsible to develop or to design that features. Okay, and this is the example of this multimedia applications storyboard. Maybe we can say it's a storyboard. It's like a draft for the web, so that everyone can understand. For example, this is the web design sketches. I can say it's about the storyboard, or maybe you can use this as a reference. So the layout for each pages, for page production, our story, suppliers. So every page you need to design in this manner. So that start doing it. No need to think at the same time develop the content. I mean the interface. So this come on the stage of design. Okay, design. And another important thing also about the flowchart. I mean the navigation flow. Okay, when you click this page, go to which page and so on. So this is also important to keep track the flow of information, the flow of the pages. the expectation of the flow when user, okay, start using the website. So this is also important. Okay, this is an example when you have to create the arrows, the flow when you click in this page, go to which page, so that it's easier for the developer and easier for the client to understand. Okay, what are the navigation flow for your website? Okay, why this is so important? Because when you develop the website or the application, okay, especially web and web and the interaction of the pages, the communication between pages, okay, sometimes they have error. So with this design or this flow of information, navigation flow, this one we can keep track which page they're having problem. So that's why we need to use this process, and you have to deliver this type of design. Okay, navigation flow, we call it a navigation flow. Stage 2, we focus on the prototype. Okay, because nowadays there are a lot of tools that we can use to develop the prototype. So normally we use this prototype. We develop prototype during design stage. Okay, design stage, the process of producing prototype. So what is a prototype? So prototype is an incomplete working application for the project. Okay, the look and feel is there, but maybe they're not fully function. Okay, then maybe in design stage we require media to be created, maybe some graphic, audio, video, text, animation, and interactivity. And user interface is constructed based on this required media. Okay, as you can see in the slide. Okay, so this is maybe it's not function, but the look and feel, okay, client can see, all the team member in the web development team can see clearly what the expectation or at the end of the production. Okay, so design stage. So design stage also we emphasize on user interface and also user experience, because nowadays the using of the information, the using of the web is quite common. So everyone need to improve the experience when using the application. And the goal of user interface is to engage the user with the established user-friendly graphical interface. Okay, user interface. And please make sure when you start designing, the graphical user interface must be intuitive, consistency, and easy to use and reliable. So we need to comply with these rules. And stage design also we emphasize on prototype. So this is a prototype, or sometimes we need to have the prototype fully function, but they still need testing, because maybe if you start doing a prototype, maybe one of the function will be working, but maybe the rest of the function we need to develop later on. Okay, so they have two type, fully function, but it's incomplete. So we can show the flow of fully function, but maybe we need minor improvement for this prototype to deliver the full version of the website. So prototype function are refined and we define in the product, and maybe we can need to test later on. And maybe the prototype, it's something can be used as a reference for other team member to improve, okay, within their roles. That means they need to improve on the interface. Maybe other team member need to improve on the flow of the information, and maybe other team member, okay, that involved in the project also need to improve on the maybe the analysis and all those things. And prototype we presented and check with the balance, so that we can improvise prototype along the way during the development process. Okay. And the last stage will be a stage evaluation. Okay, not last stage. This is the third stage, evaluation. So when we start on the evaluation stage, okay, the most important part will be to make sure during formative evaluation, there are two types of evaluation. The first one, formative evaluation, and this formative evaluation are made during the development process. Okay, during the development process. And the second part will be summative evaluation, whereby we can make or we start evaluate, okay, the web or the system development, okay, at the end of the development process. So they have specific stage whereby we can do evaluation for website that we develop. Okay, and stage 4 is a production. Of course, production maybe they have several version of production. So after prototype is completed, we need to have remaining element to be created, maybe some additional features or additional important things or additional to have in the production. Okay, for example, when we start alpha version, most of the version or features that deliver or produce in that website include media element. Okay, but maybe they have bugs. Okay, something to improve. And the second version will be beta version. Most of the element will be almost completed, and gold master version will be something that ready for to publish. I mean, for ready for the end of the production. But to telling the truth, okay, when you start website development or any software development, the production will be they have a several version, because during user testing and everything, I mean, the feedback from the client, we need to improvise, okay, continuously the version of the production that we develop. I mean, digital content or website, they always to be improvised. And one more thing, especially for the web development, maybe we cannot use the same, the same version all the time. It's quite boring. So that other thing also important. And stage production, you need to emphasize on multimedia application. Okay, for example, if you start, on developing the web development, okay, on stage 4, normally, if required, multimedia application have come with the notes, manual and packaging. Okay, so packaging nowadays, normally we just publish on the web, okay, because when we start upload or develop the web, okay, they come to in several version. Okay, as I said on interactivity on previous lecture, maybe the same website will be a different look, okay, from different devices. Okay, the website content is similar, but the look and the design of the interface is slightly different. Okay, different from the web. Okay, using if we use the same web on the website, okay, on using desktop will be slightly different if you use using mobile devices, like smartphone and also tab. Okay, so some copyright material you need to consider, or please don't use other copyrighted images, to make sure you follow all those copyright guideline. So there are example of multimedia development. So you can use the website assignment. So in your tutorial, maybe you can use this website assignment, so that you can use this model, okay, to help you in developing the website. And this is quite common. Normally for digital content and also for website development, we use this AD model, ADDEE model. So A for analysis, analyze your situation to understand the gap you need to be filled. That the first one. The second one, D, is a development. Okay, bring your learning experience to the life by building the end product. So development. Okay, so that one, the third one, D. Okay, so the second one is a design. After analysis, you go to design. Based on analysis, to make informed decision to design the best possible learning. Then you start develop. The second D will develop. Okay, and once you complete the development, you need to implement. Okay, I is implementation. So another model also important. Maybe you can adapt some of the component in this model to is a ASSURE model, assure model. So they start with the analyze learners. Second is state the objective. The third one, select method, media and material to use. And you maybe to utilize the technology, what type of the technology that we can adapt during the development. And we need to understand the required learner participation, because we need the input from the learner, okay, to improvise the system. And the last part will be evaluate and revise. So we have to go through this process to make sure the content that we develop, the web that we can develop, it fulfill the requirement and the need of the user. This is like a traditional model. Normally we adapt in software development. Okay, we call it software development lifecycle, Sdlc. We start with the requirement, okay, then we design, okay, implementation, testing and evaluation. So this is also important, okay. And agile is quite common. Okay, nowadays we are apply the agile software development lifecycle model. Okay, to design. Okay, we start plan agile. We using start planning, design, develop, testing, release, and feedback. So this is also important. And waterfall model is quite traditional model. Okay, also you need to also importance. Okay, when in developing the digital content or software or website. And this is also quite common model, but it's slightly complicated. And what are the things they have? As a conclusion, I think there are a lot of software model that we introduced in the industry, but the various model or process will be based on the context. There are no single software development model that's suitable for all project. So you need to choose the right model that's suitable for your project, and you can adapt some of the process or component from other model to be integrated in your development model. So you can choose the right process, the right approach when you plan for your development. Not for any project development, but maybe for web development, maybe you have a very unique model that you develop purposely for that particular project. So I think for the tutorial, we discuss with your tutorial lecture, and I think that's all for this week. So I think maybe you can continue for the next week, okay? But please make sure you do some revision for this topic, because it's very important, okay, for you to use this as a process of development of your project. Because in one of the section in your project report, you need to include the process development. So you need to choose the right methods or model that you refer. And I strongly suggested you use this AD model for web development. But then you still can use other model to be complement for your process. Okay. So I think that's all for this week. So maybe I want to share the attendance for this week. So I hope everyone can get something from something to refer. The model that very important, or the model that will be very important as a guideline for you to develop the web project later on. And I hope see you next week. Okay, and good luck and all the best. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, Assalamualaikum and have a nice day. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think if you have any question, so maybe you can post through this channel, and also maybe you can maybe I can respond to you later on. So I think with that, thank you very much, and hope to see you again next week. Assalamualaikum and see you.